I am beating every N64 game, and I mean all of them. The twist is, the next game I play is randomly selected, so I have no clue what's coming next. This is the journey to beating every N64 game. Game number 195. International Superstar Soccer 98. Released in 1997, this game was developed and published by Konami. We played ISS 64 back at game 169, nice, so it honestly hasn't been all that long. For being a sports sim game, it wasn't all that bad. Most of these frustrate me quite a bit, but I didn't mind that one. Still, playing one of these in the modern day against the computer rather than a real person can only get you so far, you know? The big debate back then was this series or FIFA, which is better. Well, I guess there was also Pro Evolution Soccer, but yeah. It kinda sucks that nowadays there's just a complete monopoly on the major sports games. Studios having to compete with each other led to more innovation and overall better games. That's unheard of these days for FIFA. Anyway, I wonder how different this one is over the last one. Let's get into it. The first thing I noticed is there was the ability to create your own players. You just pick their position, then enter the name. There are quite a few face presets to use, but you can't change anything about them unfortunately. Along with their height and weight, as well as what foot they use, the only other thing is setting their stats. It limits the amount you have to work with, so no making 99 everything players this time. It's pretty bare bones, but I guess it's neat that it's there. So the way we handle sports games in this challenge is win the main championship for that sport in the quickest way the game allows. For soccer, that would be the World Cup, and the International Cup mode lets us do just that. There are quite a few teams to choose from. You just pick a country's team for this thing. Dude, Brazil has 99 everything almost. Chile's flag kinda looks like Texas's in my opinion. Gotta give the coolest flag award to Wales though. That's a weird place, but man, can't deny having a dragon on your flag is awesome. Also, it's really odd seeing Yugoslavia in these old soccer games. I went with Germany because they were awesome back then apparently. First up is the regional qualifier. I was in a group with Russia, Denmark, and England. My first game was against Russia. It does a little flyover of the stadium for like a cool cinematic intro or whatever. Then we do the coin toss to decide which side of the field each team is on. I don't think it really matters that much. Now we get into the gameplay. I'm the white team and they're blue. Early on, I thankfully blocked this shot on goal. I drove downfield and they freaking tackled me. Come on, that should be a red card. But I'll take a free kick, I guess. I really didn't know how this worked, and I had the most pathetic kick of all time. Didn't matter though, we got the rebound and knocked it in there. Is that the correct term for soccer? It feels amazing to score in these games because it's usually so hard. Man, check out those flags in the crowd. That honestly looks pretty sick for the time period. Dude, what the heck was my player doing here? Just dove like 5 feet away from the ball. Love the hustle there from Kellar though. That achieved absolutely nothing and you sacrificed your body. Heck yeah, man. So soccer does this weird thing called stoppage time. Basically the clock literally never stops during gameplay. If there's a dead ball for any reason like out of bounds or a penalty, that time is accounted for. When it's 0, they keep playing until all the stoppage time has occurred. Makes sense for nice TV viewing I guess, although the advertisers probably hate it. Aw man, I somehow ended up in Reebok Replay here, and I couldn't get out of it. This video is not sponsored by the way, although Reebok, if you're watching this, hit me up. After what felt like several minutes of stoppage, we went into the half up 1-0. Early on into the second half, things were not going well. They had a pass deep into my territory that was totally offsides by the way, and they tied it up. This is ridiculous. How can this be happening? So if anything is different about this game over the last one, it's the opponent AI. In ISS 64, if you did a through pass, it would almost always just go past every defender. Here, it doesn't work at all unless it's an actual good time to use it. They must have known it was overpowered in that game, so that kinda sucks for me. Why the heck did their goalie just blast it out of bounds here? Maybe the AI hasn't improved after all. When you do manage to get it through, it just gets so stressful. I can see why people like watching soccer because it's just so hard to ever score. And when it does finally happen, it's really exciting. It's just not for me. I like the rapid scoring of basketball better. My life flashed before my eyes here. This dude had a free goal and instead blasted it into the corner. What a moron. When the second half ended, it was still tied up 1-1. I guess since we're not in the playoffs yet, it just ends in a draw. Well, it's better than a loss, that's for sure. My second match was against England, who are also very high stats in this game. About halfway into the first half, I got called for a red card. I mean, come on, that's a targeted call for sure. I paused and scoured the manual looking for how these penalty kicks work, but no luck. Well, I'm on my own. I didn't do so hot. I mean, I put the box where their crosshair was, but it just moved further right anyway. That's so unfortunate. Why did this guy just do a rainbow kick to himself? Showing off? You can actually do some really advanced stuff with this game. Mostly, I was just doing basic passes and shots as well as going for steals on defense. But when you pass or shoot, you can use the joystick along with various buttons to change the arc along with the curve of the ball. It's a game that would take a long time to master, but it's easy to just pick it up and start playing. I'll take this time to talk about the graphics and audio. The graphics are really nice. You can adjust the camera, and the more you zoom out, the lower resolution the players get. It is nicer to see more of the field though, and the game runs quite smoothly. I commented on those flags earlier, but man, I don't know, just something about it. It looks so good to me. For the audio, there's no music or anything like that during gameplay. You just hear the ball being kicked along with the crowd and the commentator. It all sounds really nice considering this is not a disc-based console.
He passes it forward. It's tightly balanced. The passes are all on target.
We wound up losing that match 1-0. Definitely not good. I don't know what it is, but that flag just does not look like England to me. I feel like you never see the individual flags of the UK countries these days. That loss was bad, but not ending. Top 2 in the group advance to the cup, and you play each team twice, so there's plenty of time to catch back up. My next match was against Denmark. Let's get into the highlights. On the first possession, Denmark goes immediately into Germany territory. They have several shots on goal, but he's just too good at defending. Right after though, Klenzum gets past the defense, the shot, and it's good! Goal for Germany! They take the lead, 1-0. Couple possessions later, and Klenzum gets the shot just past the corner, almost back-to-back goals for that legend. Nearing the end of the first half now, Klenzum gets called for offsides, the worst rule in all of football, folks. This time it's Reber who just tries to blast the goalie with it. That's kind of toxic, but hey, I like that play. Just 20 seconds to go before stoppage time, Hawatney is free of the defenders, driving down, he shoots, and it's good! Incredible play there from Denmark, and it's now tied up 1-1. Just before the half, Damar is all alone, just him and the goalie, but he turns around? Has this guy been betting on these games? We go into halftime, tied up 1. Early into the second half, Neller drives down the field. He passes it to Klenzum, who immediately goes to Hurston, then back to Klenzum for the goal. Oh my goodness, amazing teamwork there from the German offensive. No one can keep up with that ball movement. Klenzum sends the cross to Hurston to shoot, and an amazing diving save there by Schmeichel. Great hustle. Just a few minutes left in the second half. Hurston shoots, and it's blocked. However, no one on Denmark seems to find the ball, and he gets the return for the goal. 3-1 Germany. They really needed that goal for points in the group stages. And that's going to do it, folks. Germany takes the win over Denmark, 3-1. This was a game they desperately needed to win to keep their chances alive, and they nailed it. So if this were a single round robin, we would be knocked out since Russia tied with England. However, we get to play all the teams the second time. Lucky for me, I beat Russia 1-0 in the next round. Exactly what I needed to get out of groups. However, it was irrelevant. I noticed it was asking me about saving and it said no data on my files. I clicked no to continue in an attempt to try to save. Little did I know that didn't work at all. I lost all my progress, and in fact, I'm not sure why this didn't save in the first place. Maybe I'm just stupid? I don't know. Either way, I had to start all over. How many times has that happened in this challenge now? At least it wasn't too far in at this point. I was in a new group with Yugoslavia, Austria, and England. I was still having the same issue with saving though, so I left the game once again, deleted my memory card data, and lo and behold, it prompted me to save now. What the heck did I do differently? Oh well. Okay, now my group is Austria, Wales, and Denmark. Time to get through this. I discovered a way to speed up the process a bit. Once I had a lead, the AI was not programmed to be very aggressive at all if I was near my own goal. So by using a more conservative formation and passing away from the one guy chasing you, you can last forever. Well, that is if you don't blast the ball into your own goal. Yeah, that was embarrassing. I crushed it in my division, taking first place. This ended the regional qualifier. This brings us into the International Cup itself, the very license-free World Cup. I was in Group D along with Norway, Ghana, and, oh god, Brazil! They're the best team in the game! For this group stage, it's a single round robin with the top 2 advancing to the playoffs. I tied with Norway 1-1. To my surprise, Brazil and Ghana also tied. I'll take it. I then tied with Ghana 0-0. What a boring game. Brazil also tied with Norway. What an exciting group stage. I managed to then take down Brazil 1-0 in a thrilling victory. In a very realistic outcome, Brazil didn't even make it to the playoffs. It was Germany and Ghana advancing. It was time for the finish. 16 teams, single elimination. We had Yugoslavia versus Croatia, Uruguay versus Scotland, Wales versus Spain, France versus Colombia, Argentina versus Ghana, Italy versus Nigeria, Holland versus Denmark, and myself versus Bolivia. Wonder how that stacks up against the real World Cup from back then. I took down Bolivia with a very clutch last-second goal in the second half. Sweating a bit there. I then took down Holland 1-0 in a very slow-paced game to advance to the semis. We were against Italy, a tough opponent. Didn't matter though, and I took the win 1-0. It was now the World Cup finals against Colombia. I nearly threw it away at the end, but the goalie had this amazing double save. Thank goodness. We beat Colombia and Germany had done it. They won the International Cup. It shows this celebration cutscene with confetti falling and running at a very low frame rate. Although I'd say this is intentional to create a slow-mo effect. And after winning, the credits roll. So here's something I believe I missed in the last ISS game, the scenario mode. Here there are various events from real life games where you need to overcome some adversity. Like in this one, you're Argentina up 2-0 against Paraguay. You need to stop this penalty kick to not allow them to build momentum. Well, I failed at that miserably. However, you can still just win the match normally to beat the scenario. I guess that's why it's a 1 out of 5 difficulty. I could see grinding all these out to finish them to be a bit enjoyable if you really like the game. Would certainly spice things up, but yeah, that's about all there is for this one. Game complete. So yeah, there you have it. My journey to beating International Superstar Soccer 98. I mean, this game isn't that bad. If I had to choose between this and FIFA, I would pick this every time. Still, it's probably a lot better in multiplayer. There's only one AI to play against, and it can get old quick. Playing against friends would lead to a lot of variation in the matches. I think the scenario mode would at least change it up if you're by yourself, but there's only a few of those, so it wouldn't last too long. Overall, it's decent considering it's trying to be a simulation game. It's got good graphics, the commentary is great, and it's easy to pick up and figure out. Would I recommend it? Only in multiplayer probably. I gave International Superstar Soccer 98 a 4.5 out of 10 for enjoyability and a 4.5 out of 10 for difficulty. Alright, thanks for watching, I hope you enjoyed. We had a randomized marble race to determine which game was next, so here's how that played out. Or skip to the timestamp on screen to skip straight to the game selection. Alright, we will pick a random track. 196 games left on the list, and here they all are, including Asteroids Hyper 64, and Space, we got all the boomer games. Space Invaders, Chameleon Twist 2. Let's see what it's gonna be. 3, 2, 1, go. All right, they're off. Coming down the coils of power. Who will go down the hole first? Will anybody commit early? Not quite yet. But I think it's happening very soon, as in right now we've got Shin Nippon Wrestling in the lead, Automobile Lamborghini as well. It's kind of hard to tell. World Driver Championship, NBA in the Zone, off the cliff already. Hot Wheels Turbo Racing. Shin Nippon Pro Wrestling launched into the air, but does manage to recover. And now we're coming down these spirals here. We got Hot Wheels Turbo Racing in the lead. Shin Nippon Pro Wrestling on the other side. Definitely the current favorites. YLA Country Club True Golf Classics, I'm sure a fantastic game. Last Legion UX as well. And John Romero's Daikatana making a play, trying to perform the coil skip. I like the hustle out there. It did not pay off, but I respect it. South Park as well. And it appears Shin Nippon Pro Wrestling is the current leader. Hot Wheels Turbo Racing coming down not too far behind. And Waialae Country Club, True Golf Classics as well. And Shin Nippon Pro Wrestling hits a cube and gets elevated by the electricity. What is going on? Hot Wheels Turbo Racing cruising through this. Bounces off a cube, actually using it as a boost in a way. And Hot Wheels Turbo Racing gets past the next set of cubes. And Bomberman finally does. But Hot Wheels Turbo Racing currently in the lead by a decent margin. Although Golden Nugget 64 making a play. It didn't work, but I like it. I do like it. The next Cruisin' USA. Oh, man. Anything could happen here. Mario Kart, Super Smash Bros. Both down. Hot Wheels Turbo Racing, Gex, San Francisco Rush. What is it going to be? No, Bomberman out of nowhere. How did this happen? Bomberman is in the lead. Hot Wheels Turbo Racing. No, Bomberman got knocked off the cliff. Oh my goodness, and Hot Wheels Turbo Racing is in the lead. GoldenEye 007 is trying. GoldenEye 007. It's GoldenEye. Oh my goodness. No way. GoldenEye 007. I can't believe it. Unbelievable. We didn't even know it was in contention. GoldenEye 007. Or 007 GoldenEye, I think it is. It has been decided. We've been wondering where these top tier games have been, and they are coming out now. But yeah, if you're still here watching, you're awesome. Thank you so much. If you had a good time, consider hitting that like button, or maybe even dropping a subscription. Or hey, maybe even watch another one of these videos that's on screen now. And yeah, see you next time.